Hello, you're watching News.Markets Business Book Club and we're reading Do Less, Get More. It's a handbook designed for those with short attention spans and tight schedules that says, look at your to-do list and ask yourself, can I ditch it? Can I delegate? Well, Shah Wasmond, entrepreneur and author, who was awarded an MBE for services to business and entrepreneurship, joins me now. Well, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thanks very much. Pleasure to be here.
Now, is this book for frazzled CEOs and business brains who have got caught up with the fast pace of the business life in these tough economic times and can't handle it?
Absolutely, and it's about inhalable content that you can pick up, take a very quick lesson from and apply it immediately. I just think that all of us, CEOs, managers, we are all so stressed by the amount, not just the amount of our workloads, but the bombardment of messages and responses that are required of us on a almost minute-by-minute basis.
So what do you say to people who say, look, technology's come up along so much, we have to keep up with it, we can't switch off, and if you're the leader of a big business, do that at your peril?
What I would say is that you are in charge, not the technology. That we have to learn how to make technology work for us rather than find ourselves, as I've been guilty of, and I'm pretty sure lots of people watching will be, becoming slaves to technology. You're out at dinner or you're at lunch, even on a client meeting, and you just can't help yourself but quickly turn your phone over to see, is there something more important that somebody's messaged you that you need to reply to? Nothing is that urgent. And if it was, they'd call you. I think it's about learning to put up boundaries that allow us to perform at our peak rather than be diluted across everything.
So it's not just a message for CEOs, the ones at the top, that also filters down to the worker bees.
Completely. In fact, it's a message for everybody because everybody could learn to be more productive and happier in the process. It's all about focus. You know, I refer to the Pareto principle, the Italian economist, the 80-20 rule, and I refer to it in the sense not just within the business perspective, but actually within your personal life. That if you focus, where is that 20% in your personal life, in your business life, where you have the biggest impact, that gives you the greatest return on your investment of your time? Whether that's the people that you spend your time with that give you the greatest joy, or the aspect of your particular job or role or your function that is where you have the biggest impact in your career.
It's almost about taking ownership about what you're doing and not just working to make money, if you like, but working because you have a passion. Now, look, you've worked with some pretty impressive people from the boxing world, Chris Eubank, Don King, to the business world, James Dyson. Aren't all high flyers victims of being too busy?
On the contrary, it seems like somebody like Chris Eubank and Sir James Dyson wouldn't have anything in common, but they have absolute total laser focus in common. So when Chris was fighting, he absolutely never got distracted when it came to a fight because he was focused on one thing and one thing only, the outcome of that fight. And so what do I mean by that? Of course he had to do his training, but actually if anything tried to interfere with his focus, he would just block it out. And James was exactly the same way when building Dyson. There were lots of opportunities for James to be distracted by doing other things, by getting involved in other projects, other businesses, but he was absolutely laser focused on what I call the one thing. What is the one thing that he wanted to achieve most? Where was the one area where he could have the biggest impact? And when you focus on that above everything else, first and foremost, that's where you always get your greatest returns in business and in life.
So think like a boxer, focus on your business, and in doing that, you'll end up doing less, but possibly achieving more. Shah Wasmond, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Shah Wasmond, the author of Do Less, Get More.